welcome to another exciting episode of the Talkative Mom Show right here on MX24. I'm your host, Eno Quagraine, and if you're tuning in for the first time on this show, this is your blueprint for everything parenting. And we highlight women who are killing it in their own small way. Today, we'll be discussing cerebral palsy with a lovely guest, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on all our social media platforms on MX24GH on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Talkative Mom. This show is supported by Cerelac. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Talkative Mom Show. We are the Float Wellness Spa located at East Airport. This is a mommy wellness spa and the first of its kind in Accra. They have prenatal and postnatal services. My lovely outfit is by Evic Store, and Evic Store is located at East Legon. You can also find them on Instagram at Evic Store. Today, my lovely guest is Rama Atta. She is the CEO and founder of the Art Castle, and she has experienced cerebral palsy through her son. You have twins,
yes,
and you have a son who experienced cerebral palsy. I just want you to explain to viewers what exactly cerebral palsy is.
Okay. So it's actually one of the twins who has cerebral palsy. And cerebral palsy is the broad name given to conditions where children have reduced mobility due to an injury in the brain. So that's the general term. So under cerebral palsy, then we have different stages, we have different terms.
Right.
So for my son, we would say hemiparesis because he has weakness in the left side of his body due to an injury on the right side of the brain.
Okay. So kind of like walk us through how this entire thing happened, because you have, how many kids you have in total?
Three boys, yes.
3 boys. Okay, yes. 3 boys. Wow.
Yes.
And the 2 boys, the twins, how old are they?
The twins are 9.
They are 9 now.
10 this year.
Oh, they'll be 10. Oh, nice. So 10 years ago, like just walk us through the process. Like what happened exactly?
Okay. So 10 years ago, we found out we were pregnant, went to the hospital for a scan. So as the doctor was scanning, then he says, "Oh, congratulations, you have twins." So my husband and I were like, one baby has turned into 2. So the surprise or the shock of having twins. Yes, but we were excited, and we started the whole pregnancy journey. We went for all the visits, and it was pretty smooth for me. I was quite young, so it was easy. I was working. Even for twins, I didn't really have a big belly. It was fine. The only problem I had was constant nausea. Like from the beginning of the pregnancy till the end, it was really bad. So it was when we went for the scan at about 5 months, then the doctor was scanning and his face changed. So I looked at my husband and I was like, "Is everything okay?" And the doctor was like, "I should hold on." So he called another doctor in, and they were scanning and they were looking. This was my first pregnancy, so I didn't know what to expect exactly. So they were scanning, looking. I was panicking, and I was wondering what was going on. And they said, "Okay, they can see another baby,
an extra
baby, a third baby."
Wow.
Yes. So they weren't really sure. So that's why he called the other doctor to come and look and see what was going on. So she also saw the third baby. So they said, "No, let's get a third opinion." So we left the hospital. I think my sister and my husband, we all went to the diagnostic center to do a third scan. Lo and behold, when we went, there was a third baby there. So I was having triplets. So identical twins in one sack, and then the other triplet in another sack. So I went back to the hospital with the results, but they were not comfortable because there was no heartbeat for the other baby. So the doctor explained and told me, yes, there's a third baby. We can see the figure. But the baby doesn't have a heartbeat. All sorts of emotions were going through. I didn't know what to expect. So he said, "We will keep the pregnancy. We are not going to do anything. We're just going to monitor you." So they started monitoring. I was still fine going to work. It was when I was at the 7th month and I went for a checkup. Then the doctor was like, "No, the amniotic fluid had just dropped drastically." He was like, "We have to take the babies out."
Oh, that's really sad. So what did you guys do next?
So It was a Friday. My husband went home, they prepared a bag and brought it to me in the hospital.
Okay.
I think that was one of the scariest periods for me because it was so scary.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared
Yeah,
to have my
of course.
kids. That was in November. They were supposed to come in, January, at the end of January or the middle or something. So it was a shock.
Yeah.
So I stayed in the hospital that weekend. I don't think I even slept. I was just so nervous all over the place.
Right.
And then on Monday, we had a cesarean section and took the babies out. So I didn't see the third baby. My husband saw the figure, but I didn't want to see it.
Right.
So we took out the twins. The twins were fine.
How many months? How many months were they at this point?
7.
7 months. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
7 months.
Okay. So once you pop the babies out, were they okay?
They were fine.
They were fine. Okay.
But they were preemie, so we
Yes.
had to do the whole preemie treatment. We were in the hospital for about a week. They were really strong, but they were tiny.
Yes.
1.2 and 1.8. So they were really, really small, kg.
Wow,
Yes, well,
kg,
literally like
1.2
that. You could hold them like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So
So were you at the hospital as well, taking care of them?
yeah,
You know,
we were in the hospital
during
for
that
just a week.
Okay,
Yes, they
okay,
stayed under
okay,
the UV
okay.
light. They picked up really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So we were able to go home after a week. I learned how to bath them in the hospital. So in the beginning, we didn't even have any help. It was just my husband and I.
Yeah.
And
You
then
were
my
taught
mother.
that in the hospital?
Yes, it taught us how to.
Did you deliver in a public or a private?
A private hospital.
A private hospital.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So they taught us how to take care of the babies. Everyone that came will be like, they're so tiny, but to us they look normal. 'Cause
Yeah.
they had
These are
any
your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm going to fast forward a bit.
Right.
When the twins, they were all reaching their milestones by a little slower than full-term
Of course,
babies.
which is expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was about when the younger twin was almost 6 months, we realized that he always had a fist.
Okay.
So we would try and open his palm out, like massage, but he would clench
It
again.
Yeah.
So that was when I noticed there was something happening.
Yes.
But he was still trying to, he would stand.
Yeah.
He was, the same thing his brother was doing, he was doing the
Okay.
same thing. Even his teeth came before his brother's teeth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the developmental goals were being reached.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
being met. So when we realized there was a problem was when they started walking.
Okay. Which was
So
how
at
old were they then?
About 1 and 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So they actually started walking when it was supposed to be their due day. They came in November. So by January, so on their
right.
birthday in November, they weren't walking.
Okay.
But by January and February, they were
had
walking.
started,
They started walking. So we realized that the little twin was dragging his foot. You could see that there was some delayed movement when he walks and he would drag his left foot.
Yes.
So that's when our whole journey started with cerebral
So
palsy.
when you noticed the clenched fist, that you didn't take him to the
I didn't
hospital?
take him to the hospital.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. So
we just thought it was something he was
Right.
doing, like we'll massage his hand
Yes.
and all that, because he was fine.
Yeah, and that was a sign. That was a clear sign. Okay.
That was a sign.
Okay.
But
So
we
when you
didn't know.
noticed the leg,
Yes.
what happened next?
So when we noticed the leg, so my mother has an NGO called Share Care. My mother has an autoimmune condition. She's been living with it since I was 9.
Wow.
So it's multiple sclerosis. That's for another interview. So she knows these conditions because it's like a nervous, I don't say disease, but it's a nervous condition.
Right.
So she suggested so many things to us. She has a center where she helps people with cerebral palsy, kids. They do speech therapy, physiotherapy. So she was like, bring him to the center. So we took him to her center. There's a physiotherapist there. So we started doing a bit of physio and all that, but we still didn't know what it was.
Okay.
So my mother said, okay, let's look for a podiatrist. The podiatrist is a specialist for the foot. Because we thought it was foot related.
Yeah.
And there was no podiatrist in Ghana.
Really?
No podiatrist.
So unfortunate.
So yes, we had to go to Namibia. My dad was there at the time. So we went to Namibia. We met a specialist.
Okay.
She looked at him. She said he was fine, but she was going to give him some insoles for his shoes and all that. So we got those, started wearing them with all the shoes.
Right.
Before we even went to Namibia, we've been to Insawam, I don't know if you know it, but there's an orthopedic center. They're really good. We still go there.
Okay.
But there was no podiatrist there. That's why we had to go. So back and forth, physio. But I still felt, with a mother, you want fast results.
Yes, exactly.
I felt like I wasn't getting the results I was looking for. So I decided to look a bit more. Been everywhere you can think of. So there's a therapy that we heard about that we wanted to try. It's called the Voita therapy. So it's done in Germany. Okay. So we put together the kids and everyone, and we went and we started doing the therapy.
So all this while you hadn't been to a hospital to go have him checked during weighing and your hospital visit. No one said anything.
They'll just be like, oh, go to Insawam, let them check his foot, because it looked like a foot problem.
Yes,
that's what they all thought it was. Okay. So it was when we were about to go to Germany, and they demanded an extensive, thorough check for him. So we did an MRI scan, we did blood work, everything you could think of, and it was the MRI scan that we did that revealed everything. So when you look at the scan, there's like a black spot on his brain. I think it's happened on the right. Is it the cortex? Yeah. Okay. That part of the brain that controls mobility. There's a black spot there.
So that's what affects.
Exactly. So they explained that because he was, it's like a stroke. It's like having a stroke in the womb. Okay. So because he was in the sack with his twin that didn't make it, they were more or less fighting for oxygen. So there was a point where there was a break in oxygen for him, and that's what caused that problem. But we are so grateful for his life because he's so smart. Oh, okay. He is.
Yeah, and that's good.
I tell him there's nothing wrong with you. Yes. We push him the same way we push his brother. He does everything. Yeah. So
once that was revealed, you went to Germany. You went to Germany, didn't you? Yes. What was done there?
The treatment is called Voita.
Voita, okay.
They look for pressure, or there are 8 pressure points on your body. Okay. And they activate those pressure points by using your thumb, literally your fingers. Okay. And then you put pressure on those points to activate certain muscles. So before we went to Germany, he was like this. When you tell him to do this, he couldn't do this because the motor skills had not been developed. And when something like that happens in the brain, it doesn't heal, but your brain learns how to do different movements. So by physiotherapy and all those things, you're able to learn how to do these movements. Yeah. So when we're going, he could not do this. It was one of the things so that he'll be able to grab stuff. So with the Voita therapy, when we were leaving, he was able to touch. And that was one of the results that we were looking for to help with his hand. Yeah. But it's an ongoing process. So we had to go to Germany subsequently. Our last trip was in 2020 and we got stuck because of COVID. So we're stuck in Germany for about 5 months.
How, so you go once a year? Once a year.
And they taught me, so I know how to do the treatment. Okay.
Through all this, did he really understand what was happening to him? Was he asking questions? What was it like for him?
It was a bit difficult for him because when he's young, so when we go to Germany, his brother is outside playing, and then I have to take him for therapy. He's like, I want to stay and play. I'm like, Tammy, you need to do the treatment. It's going to help you eventually. So he knows, or he realized that we were going so many places, and he was seeing he's seen so many different doctors, a lot of doctors. So he knows, and we talked to him. Okay. We let him understand, because since he was little, right from when I realized his condition, I was like, listen, this is not, it's just a condition. It's not going to limit you from being whoever you want to be. Exactly. So we've already been pumping it into his head that you are fine. Yeah. So he's aware of what is going on. He's aware that he's doing treatments to make himself better. Right. But he's a child, so sometimes he just wants to play. He does not want to do his exercise. He still does physiotherapy. Oh, yes, yes. We had I reached 2020 when we got stuck. We're supposed to. Our last session with the doctor was we have to do surgery because his foot had turned so much that I had developed a club foot. Oh. So the doctor said, to correct his foot, we need to do surgery. Okay. So that was the last note he gave me. Right. But coming back to Ghana, everything we had been through and all that, I knew we weren't going to go back to Germany. So I started looking for an option or a solution here. Okay. And the people at Nsawam, his physiotherapist there, she was so helpful. Okay. She actually took it upon herself to find me one of the best
Surgeons.
orthopedic surgeons in Ghana. And he was not even in Accra. We went to Sunyani for the surgery.
Wow.
So she went with us. We went to Sunyani.
Yeah.
We saw the place. And I feel like these are the places that we need to help because they are so skilled. But the facility, it could be much better. The doctor is skilled.
What's the name of this doctor?
Dr. Mo.
Dr. Mo.
Yes, he's based in Sunyani.
Okay.
And in the northern regions, he does a lot of work in the northern regions. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
So
the doctor is skilled, but then the facility, that's the problem.
Facility.
So what you went ahead and got the surgery done?
So we went in July last year, in 2021. I knew we couldn't travel for it, so we're like, we will do it here.
Yeah.
We prepared him. So I went with him.
Okay.
And they were good. They did the blood work, checked, took his blood group. We had to get blood, all the things before surgery.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I think I was even more nervous than him. They settled us down.
You are the mom,
exactly.
So of course, yeah.
He went so he got the drip and all those things. And then the surgery was scheduled for the next day.
Okay.
So they came, checked, and wheeled him into the theater. So before that, of course, they prepped him. And the night before, the two of us, we had a really long conversation about what was going to happen. And so I prepped him for it.
Right.
In the morning, they came, took him. He went to do the surgery and came back with a huge cast on his foot.
Right.
And when he came, I was so nervous
and
I cried so much. Sometimes you just get into, I even feel like crying talking about it.
Sorry.
You just
sorry about that. Sorry. Fine.
You just realize how precious life is especially when it's your child or it's someone you are really close to. So it was really difficult waiting for him to come out of the theater. When he came out, he was knocked out. They brought him, put him in the room. So we said a prayer. I was still talking to him. And then he woke up and he was in so much pain. So much pain. And he was crying, "Mommy, help me. Mommy." It was so painful.
Heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking. It was difficult. I have a really, really good support system. My mom, my husband, my sister, my dad, everybody is involved.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's
so
what's
that
most
helped.
important.
That helped.
Yeah.
That helped. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Mama, that's so sad. But we'll have to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have more. Welcome back to the Talkative Mom Show. If you just tuned in, my lovely guest is Rama Atta, and we are discussing cerebral palsy. Now, Rama, before the break, you were sharing your experience with your son going through surgery, how difficult that was, how his recovery was like. How exactly was the recovery? How long did it take for it to heal? And, how is he doing?
So he was in a cast. We had the surgery in July and the cast came off in September. So
that was
he was going to school with the cast. So I arts and crafts. So I designed he was even saying it was too much.
You designed
I designed the cast. I had put rainbows and I'd done so everybody was signing the cast. Yes.
That's so cute. So what, he was in crutches?
He couldn't use crutches because of his condition. He has a balancing problem. So every time we gave him the crutches, he felt like he was going to fall. So he had a Zimmer frame, the frame that old people use. So they had a small one. So he had a small one. So that's what he was using to go to school.
At this time, how old was he?
Last year. So he was 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that like in school? Because it can't be easy.
Yeah.
For him, what was that like?
It was, in the beginning, he didn't even want to go to school. So I went to the school. His school has been informed about everything. They know his condition, they know everything. So even his handwriting, so I keep on telling the teachers not to give him pressure. It's a coordination problem. So once you can see what he's writing, don't worry the boy.
And so far, have they been cooperating?
So far, they're helping him. to get better with the handwriting, but nobody's really putting too much pressure on him to write a certain way.
Okay.
So we prepared him. His friends were really helpful, and the school was amazing.
Great.
I insisted on taking him to his class every day, but the school nurse will come and help. So every day I'll take him to his class with the school nurse. Lunchtime they'll send his lunch to him. Everyone was helpful. And after school I'll pick them, take them home.
Why did you decide to have him start school before he was fully healed? Like,
because
what was the reason?
I felt like, yes, he's had surgery, but his brain was still functional. He was just sitting at home. He wanted to use his tablet, and I wanted to push him a bit. Once the pain had subsided. So he stayed, after the surgery, he stayed at home for, I think, 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks before he went to school. And I decided to let him go so that he knows, like, in life sometimes there are challenges, but it doesn't stop you. You still go through it. So I pushed him. We went to school and he was okay. Every day we'll go to school. I'll pick him, take him.
You know, what's the relationship like? He and his twin. I mean, they're supposed to be twins, and then one is going through this, the other isn't. Like, what's that like for both of them? What's the dynamic like?
So the older twin is the loving one. So he's in it. Sometimes he'll come and tell me, how come Tammy is going to Sunyani without me? I want to come. So he wants to be involved. So that's why when we are going out of town, if we are traveling to Germany or anything, we go with all of them. So that he's also seeing the process that his brother is going through. And he's really helpful.
That's good.
He'll come. They fight. That's what I want. Twins fight. I think twins fight more than normal siblings. But the bond is there. You can always see that bond between them. And
that's good.
I think having a brother or a twin brother has also helped his healing. Because he looks up to his big brother. When the older twin is doing something, he's like, I want to do the same thing. They play football together, they play basketball. So he was still, like I said, he was doing everything.
Still very active,
but we had to make sure we do everything we can. Then we know that, okay, we really helped this child. So what's the walking like? Before surgery, could he walk properly? Before surgery, he could walk, but his foot was turned inwards. And when he stands, like the bone is out. So it was, his foot was shaped due to the bad habits of walking in that position. It had really deteriorated his pace. So,
and was he in pain during that period? No pain.
You should see him kicking a ball and running and all of that.
So after the surgery, did you see improvements, from before?
So after the surgery, when they took the cast off, his foot was straight, like really straight. But before the surgery, we're having physiotherapy because we knew we wouldn't be going to Germany after COVID and all that. So we have a physiotherapist who was doing therapy with him, and he prepped us as well before the surgery. So once they took the cast off, he told me that, yes, the cast is off, his foot is straight, but we still have a lot of work to do. So we went back to Nsawam to get him, it's called an ankle foot orthosis. Yes, AFO, that's what they call it.
You got it in Ghana?
You got it in Ghana from Nsawam. So he wears it with his shoes. When he's going to school, he wears it. It actually looks like his foot. It's the same color as his skin. But it's a long, I don't know what it's just a long foot that you put his foot in to position the foot properly. So every day when he's going to school, he'll wear his socks, then we put the orthosis on, then he wears his shoes. Yes, to keep his foot in that position. Because like I said, that part of the brain is damaged. So you have to teach the brain how to, or teach the body what to do. So the orthosis keeps the foot in shape. So
otherwise,
it doesn't,
he would continue to bend it.
The foot will curve inwards again. So
So now let's move to school. We all know that kids are not necessarily the nicest. There are some mean kids out there. How has he been able to navigate all this, having these mean kids? I'm sure they've definitely picked on him. I'm sure they've bullied him. He's been through that, hasn't he? What has that been like for him, and how did you?
There was a boy in his class who really picked on him. I think he saw him as weak because he had a different way of walking. So there was one time that he was walking and the boy tripped him and he fell. Intentionally tripped him and fell. So that's when my husband and I were like, no. So when we were going to the school, he said, oh, mommy, don't bother coming. I've got it. I was like, no, you haven't got it. I'm coming to your school.
Yeah.
So we went to the school, saw the headmistress, saw the owner of the school, and it became a big deal. The boys' parents were involved. A lot of things came up, and we made it a point. So since then, I haven't got any incidences of bullying. But kids, when he was smaller, he was walking. Some kids would be like, hey, your leg has chair. You know how kids say those things.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's us, or we the parents, we are the ones who have put it in his head for him to know that, yes, I may walk differently, but there's nothing wrong with me.
Exactly.
And let it pass through you. When people are being mean, don't fight back. Just process it and let it pass through you. So he, like I said, he does everything. He plays basketball. He doesn't let anything stop him. He is so strong-willed.
Yeah.
Nothing stops him.
Wow.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so from there you've had your third child as well.
Yes.
You know, he has no issues.
No.
So how has it been like for all three of them? You know, does the third understand what his big brother is going through? You know, what's that dynamic like?
So my third is 6 years younger than the twins.
Oh, okay.
Because we were so focused on Tammy and everything he was going through.
Yeah.
We had our third 6 years later.
Right.
And when he came at a period where we were doing a lot of travel with his big brother.
Right.
So when he was born, 3 months later, we're going to Germany for therapy. Okay. So he's been in the process. He was too young then to understand anything. But he's seen what is going on. And when the therapist comes to the house these days, he'll stand outside and scream, "Tammy, your physiotherapist is here. Uncle, this is here." Like he's involved. You know how toddlers think they are helping. He'll go and bring the things to the sitting room. So they are all very helpful. Yeah. Like I said, they are boys. They get really rowdy sometimes. Yeah. And they fight too. But they have that bond. Yeah.
So how many times in a week does he go
for physio?
Yeah, for physio.
3 times a week. So we go Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Oh, okay, okay. And this is going to happen until when? How long is this?
It's not a short journey.
Okay.
It's going to be a long journey because you want him to be as functional as possible. He should be able to button his shirts. He should be able to take care of himself. He's doing it, and he washes his plates now. When he finishes eating, he'll come, "Mommy, so should I wash?" I said, "Don't ask the question. Just
you know how to
do it." So yeah, teaching him how to take care of himself when you go to the bathroom, so he's managed. He goes to the bathroom, takes care of himself, he's bathing. I still inspect everything. You should see, I put them a lot on my social media, so I'm sure people will be shocked when they hear the story because I never talk about this side of our journey. But so I make sure he is in everything we are doing. I don't want him to feel special or more privileged than his brothers or weaker than his brothers. So I treat them all equally. Everything the brothers are doing.
That's good.
He's also involved.
Good. So going through this experience and then finding out you're pregnant, you know, with your third, did you have any fears? Like, were you scared? Like, oh, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Maybe, just maybe, I might experience the same thing again. Did you have that?
Not that feeling. I just felt, honestly, the third, I was like, after the twins and what we're going through, I was like, I didn't want any more children. But when I went off my contraceptive, I should have known that it would happen. So when we got pregnant again, and I was young, like I said, so I've really grown up now and matured a lot in like whole childbirth and taking care of kids and all that. So I wasn't scared per se. Good. And I was very hands-on throughout the pregnancy. It was even more difficult than the twins because I had an easy pregnancy with the twins. With my other child, it wasn't as smooth as it was with the twins. Okay. So now let's move to you. Like, how have you been able to manage all this? Because obviously you have a business, then you have 3 kids, you know, you have your husband, your home, you know, all that. How have you been able to maneuver through all this? When I had the twins, I was working for another company. It was a multinational that made me travel all over the place. So even though I was taking care of my child, like every 2 weeks, I'll have to go somewhere for work, come back. So my support system, like I said, I have a nanny who is really hands-on.
Okay.
She's helped us since they were little.
Okay.
My husband has been so helpful. My mom, my
Right.
extended family, my sister, everybody helps. They know what we are going through, so everybody has been helpful.
Okay.
So having that support has helped me as well.
Okay.
But for some reason, the mother always wants to be in charge of
Exactly.
everything.
Like, yeah, you still want to be hands-on.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you don't want to just leave it for everyone to, yeah.
No. So I was still very hands-on. I would travel, come back, and quickly find some time for us to do like my activities. And then I wasn't doing the arts castle.
Okay.
So I was working for someone else, but I'll still involve the kids in arts and crafts. I'll make sure that they're not missing out on like the little things, things that will help them develop and have that creative brain and all that. So I was making sure. And I was cooking. I was doing everything.
Okay. So did they inspire the Art Castle?
They did.
They did. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
But how has it been like now that you have your own business?
I'm more relaxed now.
Okay.
Now I can do stuff for them. I can do physio. I can take them wherever. Because it's my business. I can plan and say, okay, Wednesdays we're going for physio, so Wednesday afternoons I don't want to do anything. I'll just pick them from school. We go for physio.
Yeah.
So I'm more hands-on, and I feel like they're benefiting more that mommy is at home now. So I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, for a lot of moms who may have a child who maybe special needs or has a condition, a lot of times more attention goes to that child. Yes. And then the others don't really, feel the attention. They don't get it. How are you able to intentionally make sure that you are taking care of all three of them? They are all getting attention. I mean, you can't get equal attention, but how are you making sure you do that?
There's something I've started doing. I try to have one-on-one time with the kids. Okay. So Tammy has had a lot of one-on-one time with me because from going to therapy and all that, most of the time he's with me. Yeah. So with the older twin, sometimes I'll just take him. The last time I think we went to watch a movie, just the two. This was pre-COVID. I just took him, went to watch a movie. Like sometimes I just try to have one-on-one times, but I involve them in everything. Good. Everything I'm doing, I don't just single one person out. All three of them are involved in whatever we are doing. Yeah. Unless one of them is in school or but I try to involve them all in whatever I'm doing.
Okay. No, that's really good. Like, for kids who have conditions, a lot of times, like I was sharing earlier, they may not get it. Yeah. Their friends may not get it. And sometimes we forget that they are still kids. Yes. So a lot of times it's like we expect that they won't be naughty because, you're already going through this thing. But they are still children. Oh, yes. And then the parents ends up putting out their frustration because you see, sometimes the parents feel like, oh, I'm the one spending all the money. I'm the one taking care of you. Yes, you are going through this, but I'm also going through. How can you go through all this and then still be naughty? How are you able to discipline him when he goes wrong?
I don't treat him differently at all. If he does something and it's worth being blasted for, I will blast him. Right. Nobody is different. I treat all of them the same. And I don't even want to get into a place where I use his condition to feel sorry for him. No. So even for me, myself, I'm like, listen, you have 3 boys, take care of them the same. Yeah. It's just that because I have a toddler and then I have older boys, as they grow older, their needs and demands are different. Exactly. So of course, the way I will juggle the twins and their little brother is different. Yeah. But I treat them all.
What do you see the future like for him, for your kids? Like, what do you think it's going to be like? Because obviously Ghana is not how it used to be before. Yeah. Before, you couldn't even find certain specialists. Today, I bet there are many specialists out there who are able to treat some of these things. What do you think it's going to be like for him with his condition? Do you think it's going to improve totally, and then he wouldn't need physio and all these other things? Or how do you think it's going to be like? And then also just being in society, what's that going to be like?
Okay, so one thing the doctor said was we can improve his standard of living, but he might always have a limp. Okay. I still believe he's going to be fine.
Okay.
I believe that God is going to see him through. He's going to be fine.
Right.
But physical appearance isn't the only thing that I'm working with. So with his intellectual brain and everything, I try to let him understand that you are not just about what you look like. So there are other things that will make you, the individual, stand out.
Yeah.
So he said at one point growing up, he said he wanted to, he's been changing the occupation so much. I think he said he wanted to be an architect. Then he came to a rapper. Then we've had different things.
Yeah,
and I still encourage them.
Exactly.
And like eventually you know what you want to do. And then
I tell people all the time, my kids are 4 and 3, and they say things like they want to be a dinosaur. They mention animals. So I always say, the last time they said they wanted to be a vampire, one said they wanted to be a witch. So I mean, and then so it's like for me, I'm like no pressure.
No pressure.
When you're old enough and you decide what you want to be that thing. But for now, it's like So for kids, kids are kids. Kids are kids. Yeah. But that's the. Do you have any advice for anyone out there who may be going through this exact same thing or similar?
So we tend to shy away from talking about these things. I have been very quiet about it, but I decided to talk about it because I felt like it could help someone. Don't be sad or don't put yourself in a situation where you feel like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to my child? God gives the toughest battles to the strongest people. So just let your child, that's what I say to my child. I'm like, you are strong. That's why God made you the way you are. And listen, you're going to rise. So just positive affirmations, positive words. When they're naughty, yes, you blast them, but just keep on being positive. You, the individual, be positive about yourself. And talk about it. If you need help, get the help you need, because this you can't do it on your own. You need help. If you need a physiotherapist. Some people, we are lucky, his speech is fine, he's able to talk, his movement, he's able to move.
So some kids don't have
there are different stages. So we are at like the stage 1 of cerebral palsy. It goes up to I think stage 4, where the kids are in wheelchairs, they can't move, they can't, very spastic. So our stage isn't terrible, but we are not going to just leave him. We're also doing the best that we can. So once you see that your child or you have a child in this condition, encourage the child. Do what you can to improve the standard of living, so that if you are not there, the child will be fine.
Right. If you're not there, the child will be fine. Thank you so much, Mama.
Eno.
Thank you. We've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're going through the same thing or similar, just know that you're not alone. And don't feel too sorry for yourself. Just make sure that you give your child all the help that he or she needs. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have Work Kits.
My name is Victoria Seshi, the founder of Smart Kid Palace and an early learning advocate for babies and toddlers. Before Smart Kid Palace, I was working in the banking sector, and then I came home and I have to start something on my own. I'll be trying to find something that actually fulfills me. That's when I started Smart Kid Palace with a passion to support early childhood learning among babies and toddlers. When I left the bank, I was really looking out for something that would create an impact. Even though I wasn't into educational area, but I started researching, piloting several options here and there. Then I realized that there's one area that people hardly focused on. So I look at the early childhood area and I realized that that place can be a beginning ground of impact. The journey has been challenging, fulfilling, and above all, knowing that you are really doing something that you love to do. That's the drive that keeps me going. There were times I really feel like giving up. Sometimes I feel like if not because I have really committed that much, I would have stopped. Along the way, I realized that a lot of parents in Ghana are a bit skeptical about paying extra aside the school fees that they really pay. So they are really not ready to embrace other aspects that will pull out funds from their pockets. So I have to really rely on advocacy, creating awareness, what their children are likely to get aside the classroom taught lesson. There are a lot of informations, materials, and other technological avenues that are available now than our time. Schools alone can't foot all those budgets. So I have to really bring this awareness among young parents and to see the need to prepare their babies for school as well. Most of our visiting moms, anytime they come, based on the advocacy, they always talk about, oh, I have this particular age. What do you think you can put together that can provide a well-rounded learning experience? So they leave their recommendation to me for us to be able to recommend several areas of learning. And what we also realize is that children have shorter attention spans. So we try to give parents different learning styles. Some might be visually inclined, some might be oral, that is the hearing aspect. Some might also be able to read and all that. So when we give them exposures around such areas, children are able to have more than enough to thrive on. So my word of advice to anyone who is in the corporate world desiring to start their own work, please take a counsel. Do market research. Sometimes we feel like we have the money power and we see things trending on the internet and we think that is it, that is the reality. It is not easy. Sometimes being an entrepreneur as compared to salary worker even earns better. It comes with a lot of sleepless nights. You should be able to redevelop yourself, understand the market you want to enter, especially when it comes to picking advice or taking advice from people. A friend can just recommend and hype a particular business without much knowledge. Please, I feel like it's better you leave your money to T-bill than taking such risks. It has been hard. I ignorantly did that, but because I was very determined, I decided not to give up. That's how come I'm still standing. I made series of mistakes along the way. So before you quit your job, know that entrepreneurial will not give you that big bonus at once. It might take years, 5 years, 10 years. So please take a counsel. Pay for a business mentor to actually guide you through so that you'll be well informed. You'll be able to even pilot the market better and understand it well before you pull out your funds and start something that you regret later. So that's all I can say. Any young mom out there that is ready to embrace early learning, that is to prepare your babies right from birth or even during the latter part of pregnancy. As Smart Kid Palace, we take you on a total journey. We don't just give you one or two. We make sure that we provide a whole lot of areas with regard to preschool, with regard to life preparation that we recommend for your babies to start with. So if you are a young mom out there and you need learning materials, aside breastfeeding and waiting for baby to fall asleep, there's so much you can do. Early exposure is the key. We all know that the first 6 years of a child's life is very crucial to intellectual development. So if you are out there and you have the opportunity watching this, please contact Smart Kid Palace. We'll work with you. We'll guide you through how you can make the best out of all our recommended items available that can kickstart your baby's learning so easily.
Today, my lovely mom plug is Sena Yeboah. Hi, Sena.
Hi, Eno.
So Sena is the CEO and founder of TNU Fitness.
That's correct.
And I just want you to share what inspired you to start this business? And what does TNU stand for anyway?
Okay, so TNU is the new you,
Okay.
which is a lifestyle change movement for women.
Okay.
And I mean, I got inspired after I lost the 23 kg, which I gained during the pregnancy, my first
Wow.
pregnancy. So I was very excited I could lose it in a natural way.
Okay.
You know, just by introducing healthy meals,
Right.
just by being physically active and managing my stress, I was able to get rid of it. And yes, I got excited. I started helping my colleague because then I was working in a bank, and one person led to another.
And now you have a whole
community from 10 different countries. Yes.
Wow,
yes.
wow. How many are you guys in total?
Close to 500.
And counting.
Yes, and counting. Yes,
yeah.
I love that.
Okay. So I can see you have products as well.
Yes, we do.
What kind of products do you have?
Okay, so for us, I mean, we believe that to have a healthy body, you can't have it devoid of, inadequate water, devoid of healthy, seeds and fruits and vegetables. So we try to be creative about it. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I struggle to take fruit. I struggle to take vegetables when they're raw.
Yeah.
But one of the innovative ways that we've gotten our community to drink more water is by infusing it.
Okay.
You know, so yes, so I'm just going to show you a little demo.
Okay. So
you
what
can
do you have
infuse,
today?
yes, so I have kiwi, I have grapes, I have tangerine.
Okay.
But you can infuse it with any fruit of your choice.
Okay.
It can be pawpaw, it can be apple, it can actually be vegetables as well. The whole idea is you want to drink more water.
Yeah.
And some people find drinking water boring.
Yeah, boring. It's like we can't track it, but we know we need it.
Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
how will we be able to infuse this?
Okay, so it's pretty simple, you know.
Okay.
So, and of course, it's easier when you have an infused bottle, and that's one of the things that we have in TNU.
Okay, this is
So
lovely.
here we are. I'm just going to share it.
All right.
Okay.
So put a little bit of grapes there,
yes,
and then
the kiwi. As I said, it can be any food of your choice. Yes, any food of your choice.
Okay.
Close it.
This is really nice.
It's pretty cool. Then you just add your water.
Okay. I can already tell this is going to be really yummy. Like,
Trust
this
me.
is like drinking flavored water, but it's
exactly,
natural.
especially people who are very, very addicted to soda. They just want something in their water.
Okay.
So instead of doing soda, you just do this. Just give it a few minutes. Sometimes you can actually leave it overnight, so that more of the fruits gets concentrated in the water, and the taste is amazing. You can try it.
Right. So you leave it overnight in the fridge.
Yes, in the fridge.
Okay.
In the fridge or room temperature.
Okay. No, this is actually very different.
Yeah.
Because what I've seen out there is just cucumber. That's it.
Yeah.
And usually you put it directly in the water. So after a while, it's like maybe you forget, you leave it sitting there, and then you just don't like
how it looks.
But
taste
this,
as
I
well.
love the fact that it's in there. The water is still around it, and then this is really, really nice. I believe that even for kids, they would enjoy this because kids, kids love juices.
Yes.
Yeah, this is really nice. So what else? I can see.
Okay, so
other
yes,
products.
we have yogurt, and for a lot of busy mothers, it's like they don't have time to sit to eat. And most people tend to skip breakfast.
That's true.
And pardon me to use a cliche, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We all know that.
Yeah.
But when you start to skip breakfast, what happens is that, you begin to develop ulcers. Yes, and it can actually slow your metabolism because your body moves into a conservative mode, knowing that there's no food coming in. So to get your body working, so putting your body in a working mood, you have to take breakfast. So it can just be probiotic yogurt, which I highly recommend because it helps to boost your immune system.
Right.
So you can drink it, or you can just add some granola to it.
Okay. Or some fruits. Like
some fruits, exactly. Or seeds.
Yeah.
We need loads of seeds,
What seeds?
So this is sunflower seeds.
Okay.
And it helps to regulate your blood sugar.
Okay.
For a lot of young people, most people are becoming pre-diabetic now, which is quite sad because we tend to consume sugar in almost all the processed foods. So it's good to take these seeds because it helps to regulate the blood sugar and all that. So
what other
so this is flaxseed. This is awesome. It's very high in fiber.
Okay.
And once you take loads and loads of fiber, what happens is that you're actually not going to constipate. So if you want to suffer with constipation, please, yes.
And then what do we have here?
This is granola. Granola.
Okay.
Yeah, super high in fiber. So this is just oat. So you can take it as a snack.
Okay.
Yes, you can
May I
take
try
it. Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Let's try it. Wow. This looks so good. This is good.
Yes.
No, this is good. And it's filling.
Yes, it's filling.
That's what I love about it. Because
a
lot of times when I have breakfast and I'm not full, I end up overeating during the day.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is really, really good. Yeah, this is really good. So Apart from all this, you also have some workout exercises that we can do at home.
Absolutely.
Yes, everyday moms,
everyday mom on
moms.
the run. We don't have time, but look, exercising doesn't need to be a perfect 1 hour in the gym. It can be anywhere. It can be in the kitchen. It can be in the sitting room. It can be in the bedroom.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah. Okay, so you can take us through
Absolutely.
that.
I love to.
All right,
I love to.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, Senna, so the everyday mom at home probably has just had a baby or has to return to work, wants to not necessarily lose weight, but then just maintain a healthy lifestyle. What are some of the exercises we can do?
Okay, so we're going to start with the skipping.
Okay.
Very, very easy.
Okay.
Minimal device. All you need is just a jumping rope.
Okay.
And luckily, TNU has the digital one, so that's all the counting for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to do a very short time of skipping.
Okay.
And then we move on to the floor workout.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So let's try it.
Okay.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you. Okay.
You are more on fire.
All right, so what else can we do apart from skipping?
Okay, so you see, the average mom is very busy.
Right.
And we often find ourselves in the kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah.
So whilst we're making the meals, in between the meals, we can just be squatting.
Okay, so
Squat in between the meals.
Okay.
You know, like we have to just be creative because there's no perfect time.
Yeah.
A lot of moms are not very physically active because they're still waiting for the perfect time where the children are asleep, where the partner is not worrying them, where the boss is no. The perfect time will never come. So just do this.
So from here then.
All right, then we can just add some jump into it. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Let me try this.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it. You're doing
Hey,
good.
this is great.
Awesome.
Okay.
And you know, for most mothers, it's actually their tummy that they're concerned about.
True,
Okay, so we
true.
can do this.
Okay.
It's called knee to elbow crunches.
Okay.
Knee to
So
elbow.
knee to elbow. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Oh, okay.
So this is where
You could be
Is that-
watching the baby while doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is great.
You see, it's almost touching.
Yeah.
You can see.
I'm supposed to actually touch.
It's supposed to
Okay.
touch. So that's the challenge. So once you start, it wouldn't touch.
Okay.
But once you keep doing it, you're going to get very
Right.
flexible.
Senna, this is good. Thank you so much. I'm actually out of breath, like just doing this, but this is so effective.
Yeah.
This was just about 3 to 4 minutes, and I feel like I've worked out like enough for the
For
day.
the whole year.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Senna. That was such a fun workout.
I've had so much
Senna.
fun with you, Eno.
I just love the fact that you can do this in the comforts of your home
Yes,
whilst watching
that's
the
the
baby.
beauty of it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You've learned a lot. Thank you, Senna.
Thank you, Eno, for having me.
Join the TNU Fitness Train. So a big thank you to all our lovely guests. We discussed cerebral palsy with Ramata, and we featured Fabricana, Trisha Kwanzaa, and we also had the lovely Senna Yeboah here to do a fitness workout routine with us that we can do at home. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We can't wait to see you next week. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MX24GH. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Talkative Mom. This show is proudly supported by Cerelac. See you next week. Bye.